real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Shamika Hampton dated the defendant, and they were both crack addicts who lost their 2 children to the system. Shamika says she's trying to regain custody, but wants to prove the defendant is the father of her youngest child. So she petitioned the court for a paternity test. Defendant Corey Ryan and his wife Shawn admit Corey was a crack addict, but says he turned his life around 3 years ago after hitting rock bottom. And he does question paternity because he claims Shamika was promiscuous.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
All right, start with you.
Well, my whole intention to come to court today is to prove to Corey Ryan that he is the father of Jacquees.
Give me some background. Where do you know him from? Or did you just call or see him at the red light and say, come on in here?
Well, like that. Nothing like that. Yeah, exactly how it went.
You said exactly how it went.
Minding my own business at the bus stop. You all right? Seriously. So anyways, it's been about 8 years now.
Tell me what happened.
I'm standing on the bus stop on my way to the food stamp appointment, and he stopped me, and I told him I was fine, keep going. He turned back around anyways, persistent. So I got in the car, and he took me to the food stamp office. Then I believe after that, he took me to work. And after that, we got in a little relationship.
Let me stop you right there. You started out wrong.
I know, that's right.
How can you get in the car? Hold on, you don't know what I'm saying. You don't know what I'm saying. Don't tell me I'm right until you hear what I'm saying.
I tried.
How could you get in the car with a man and still have to go to the food stamp office? The destination should have changed time you got in that car. You should have said, I was going to the food stamp office. But since you want to flag me down and get me in your car, go to your bank.
Exactly what I should have said, but I wasn't on that thing.
Go ahead.
I was just on my own business.
All right.
I was on my own business. But anyway, so he took me to my work. And after that, we pursued to have a relationship. He called me, and we hooked up. And one thing led to another. We both found out that we both had the same issue, which was addiction. We both fell into that. I was in it. He was in it. So already
or afterwards?
No, he was like, I was already in it, recovering. I was in recovery.
Okay.
And he was also in recovery. And, you know, both of us together, hooked up together, and it just brought out the old addiction again. So we both relapsed.
Yeah, y'all were smoking cigarettes or?
No, crack.
Crack?
Oh, okay, Judge.
Oh, you didn't say that. You didn't say that. You
okay,
people
Judge.
are addicted to cigarettes.
That's what it was. So,
I was addicted to cigarettes, but COVID killed my habit. I was addicted to 3 cigarettes a night. That was my due, as we call it. That was my due. 3 cigarettes a night, just 3 cigarettes a night. Couldn't stop for years.
I hear you.
Used to go, trick my family, trick Linda. I go, and I swear to God, this is horrible. She would go, she'd go upstairs, I'd watch something I know she don't want to watch. So she would run upstairs in the other room and watch it. Before she could get up to that top step, boom, I'm out that door. Sometimes she'd call me because she would hear me. You just leave out. I know where you going. I would go to avoid smoking more than 3, and this is a very expensive habit. I would, every night, the gas station man, when he saw me coming, he'd go right over to the cigarette thing, bring me my cigarette, give it to me. He know what I was gonna do. I pull 3 out, then I set the others there on the outside. Next day, I'm going the same route. Because I don't want to tempt myself. You know how you do.
Yeah.
But that crack is a little more.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You can't set that aside.
No, you can't.
Right.
But,
so, tell me how your addiction, tell me about that. Because are you clean now?
Oh, yeah, I'm clean now.
How long have you been clean?
About 140 days.
How long have you been clean, sir, if you're clean now?
Yeah, I've been over 3 years.
All right, and see, it kind of irritates me to just put it that way, when people who have overcome some of the most tremendous obstacles in life or in society, and you come in speaking in code like you don't want people to know.
I don't have a shame in it. I did it. I went through it.
You don't have no shame when you go in the meeting, that's for sure. But
no, I don't.
why did you? We had an addiction. I guess I'm not chastising you. I'm just advising you and requesting that when you talk about yourself, include that as an inspirational story.
But I got a lot of people that might want to watch my story, and I just really want to came from paternity test, and that's all it is. I'm not ashamed about it. I've been through it. I went through it, and still facing it, and still going through it. I got kids. I'm still trying to get back home. So through addiction, and they in DSCS. So that's what it is.
How many?
So
children?
I got one. That's the one for paternity test today, and I also have a 5-month-old. So yeah.
When is the last time you've appealed to the court or the Child Protective Services to try and prove your worthiness?
Just talked to him yesterday. We got a meeting in 2 more weeks, and then my daughter, she's coming home first, and then my son's following.
Good. Well, good luck to you. And see, that's what we need to know, that folks, if you have your children transitioned into foster care because of your addiction, if you come out and you stay clean, then you can at least start trying. And who knows, this might be inspirational in the sense that you might get the nod to get your children back. So that's a story people need to hear. And good luck to you. And since that time, since you've been struggling, and I know people overcome and go back and forth with relapsing, are you in NA? Did you go?
Yes, I go to meetings. I do IoT 3 times a week.
You're going to be all right. As long as you keep those meetings up, and you're another example, letting people know you got to go to those meetings to stay clean, to keep from relapsing. Y'all smoked all the way through the relationship?
Pretty much. It was ups and downs, you know. I think I'll be honest, my problem was more deeper than his. I think I had it worse. Where, you know, till he ran off with the lady sitting beside and ran to Georgia. You know, he said he was going to a plasma center one day, and I knew they was talking on the phone, which we wasn't in a relationship no more.
Slow down. But, let's repeat what you just said. He said he was going to the plasma center, correct?
Yeah.
How more inspirational can that get? Look at him now. Clean. He looks clean.
3 years clean.
He has expensive items on, meaning he would have pawned that if he was still getting high.
No, he's doing good. He's doing good.
She said that you were going to sell your plasma. That's when you go to the plasma center, that's what drug addicts do. They go to sell their blood. Here's a man, just several years ago, he was selling his blood to feed his addiction. That is how heavy these addictions are. But thank God he made it through, and we're gonna find out how that happened, because that's a tremendous story. So, how did y'all break up? Give me the defining moment. Tell me how that happened.
That's what I was getting at. One day, he's supposed to went to the plasma center. You know, I was ready. We had broke up. You know what I mean? We was just doing whatever. The relationship was been dead, been gone. And I guess he was talking to the lady beside him, you know. And one day, he just supposed to went to the plasma center. My sister was taking him, and I was like, "Where's Corey?" They said Corey was on the bus on the way to Georgia. So I was fine with that, because I felt that he needed that. You know what I mean? I was really holding him down. You know what I mean? I was really keeping him back from perspiring. I mean, getting better off. He was better off without me, and I felt that. You know, I had it. My addiction was worse than his. So, and I'm a woman enough to say that.
I need to know what you mean by that. Was he getting high every day?
I would pressure him to get us high every day.
Yeah, pressure nobody. Sorry, let me hear from you. You want to give me some background?
Basically, you know, she said everything was, you know, exactly the way it happened. It got to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore, and you know, I tried to hang in there because I did have my heart was in it, but the activities it just didn't make any sense. I'm not getting any younger. I said it's time. I told myself by the time I turned 50, I better have something to show for it. And so I was all the way down to my last end. I didn't even know who I was anymore. I let all of my boundaries were crossed. I was at my wit's end. And then one day I decided just to jump off the cliff. I said, you know what? Enough is enough. I pretty much got on the bus butt naked and went to Georgia. As soon as I got to Georgia, everything opened up. So I had accomplished a lot in a little bit of time.
Let's start here so people can know. You went to Georgia and did what within the first month?
Within the first month, the woman that's next to me, which is not my wife, we've always been a part of each other's lives, but we didn't know that we were as close as we are now. And she pretty much encouraged me, gave me enough self-esteem to have enough confidence to go ahead and just do what I had to do.
Okay, but they have plenty of crack in Georgia. So how did you avoid trying to find some crack when you got there?
Well, I had already made my mind up a long time ago that that's not what I wanted to be or do. I indulged in it because of, who I was with.
Oh, please.
And that made her happy. So, I kept her happy that way.
All right.
So I was more like a codependent than anything else. But it caused me to indulge.
And do you all have a child together? I know we're taking a paternity test. Is that the only child that is in question between the two of you?
Yeah, this one, well, we already know we have one.
The two of you have one confirmed, and today it's a second one. So the one confirmed, have you been a provider and engaged that child over the years?
No, I have not. The child was adopted by another family.
How long ago?
What was that? Should make about 3 years ago.
Why did you give the child up?
I decided that the situation was to the point to where it was unhealthy for the child to be there, and I was not capable of taking care of my responsibilities as a father.
All right.
Now, I have other children, but it was so outrageous and ridiculous that there was no way that a child should have been nowhere around that atmosphere.
Why are we here today regarding the child's paternity?
Well, I'm thinking that that there was other individuals that could have been involved at the time.
When did you all first believe, or either of you believe, that the child in question you were the father of?
August the 1st of 2019. That's when I moved here. And about 2 weeks after that, I get a phone call about I'm pregnant. Now, I don't know how long it takes to find out that you're pregnant, but I don't think 2 weeks will do the trick. I think you got to have at least about a month, like that.
What'd you say, man?
I didn't know I was pregnant. Corey was standing with a gentleman over across town somewhere. I had my own place. He would call me to get high. And I would go out there to his house and where he was staying at, and we had our little thing going on. And that's when I got pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant.
Who would call you to get high? Who would call you to get high?
Corey did. Corey would call me.
Okay, because I thought you said you were the only reason he got high, and he said that too. Now he's calling you. Let me get back to you, sir. Do you believe the child is yours?
I know it is.
All right, you know it is, and so let's see what this says. You are the father. Have a good day.
I know he is. I know he is.
Bye-bye.
Told you that. Told you that. And I be coming to see both of y'all. Yeah, I know he is. I know who my baby father is. I be about to come and see both of y'all. Thanks. As you go, buddy. Look just like your ass.
It is what it is. It's not. What else can you say? I mean, I'll be to see you. I'm glad you're married. That's how it be. So.
I'll be to see you.
We'll work it out.
Plaintiff Terry Swearingen says her son was friends with the defendant, and Terry took him into her home because he was raised in the foster care system. However, Terry's suing because she bought a car for the defendant and he failed to pay for it. Defendant Zachary Hall says immediately after he got out of the foster care system, he was arrested and thrown in jail, and since then he's been trying to get his life together. He's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you, man.
I met Zach back in August of 2020 when my youngest son brought him on a annual family float trip. Prior to, I did not know Zach, but we soon got to know Zach. While we were on the float trip, I asked Zach, I says, how many float trips have you gone on? And he said, unfortunately, I grew up in the foster system. We don't do anything fun, which made me kind of sad for him. Had a great time. He was a good kid, well-mannered. When we got back home, my son came back to me and he says, Zach found out that he lost his job and he's being kicked out of where he's living, which he was living on another friend's couch at the time. I went to my husband and we talked about it, and we went back to my son. We told him that we had decided that we would like Zach to come live with us, allow him to have the opportunity to have a family experience, a real family experience, and get his life back together for a period of time. Zach came to live with us the very next week, and we sat down with Zach and we told him that to live here, you will need to get a job since you are not a student, and that you will need to save your money so that you will be able to afford the things that you'll need to move out. I told him that he would now be treated just like I treat one of my own children.
All right, let me get some background from him, young man.
Yes, Your Honor. I just got out of the foster care system when I got into trouble with the authorities.
How old were you?
I was 17, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I got in trouble with the authorities for guilt by association of theft.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I went to jail for 2.5 months. The judge thankfully gave me a second chance, and I got out. I was on probation. I was doing everything I can. I was sleeping on friends' couches, moving around a lot.
How old were you when you were removed from your house?
I believe around age 8, but I cannot recall.
You were in a state facility or in a household?
Household, Your Honor.
All right. And how many foster care homes did you live in between 10 and 17?
I cannot recall, Your Honor.
More than 5?
I'd say so.
Okay. And how long were you in that last household?
I cannot recall, Your Honor. It was at least 6 months.
Did you ever stay any place beyond a year?
My aunt.
What was the most?
Probably
longest?
a couple years, 3, 4.
Okay. You were aged out of the system by the time you got out of jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where did you live immediately after aging out?
My friend out in Wright City, Your Honor.
Okay, so in your last year to 6 months during your foster care, you weren't prepared at all? They didn't prepare you for adulthood?
No, Your Honor.
And that's what I hear the circumstances are, that they don't prepare young people for aging out of the foster care, and they leave them hanging. And the essence of it is they've been abandoned. How did you do in school?
I did terribly in school until after I got out of jail.
Mm-hmm. After you got out of jail, what did you do at 17?
One of my probation requirements was to get my diploma. I do have my diploma. It's in on my fridge, and then I just finished paying my restitution, so.
Mm-hmm. How long ago did you get out of jail?
Oh, December 18th of 2018.
Okay, so you've been out nearly 3 years, and what
Yes,
have
sir.
you been doing those 3 years since getting out of jail?
I was trying to get my life together. I was trying to move in with friends. I was living with my aunt at the time. We kept
Your
getting...
aunt?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, a relative.
Yes,
Did
Your Honor.
you start school while living with her?
We did start school, but then it became online school since it was really hard to get up in the morning. I was very bad at
Okay.
waking up.
So it was hard to get up in the morning.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what happened.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. So I'm not a bleeding heart type. I am a government policy type. So we're not blaming that on the foster care system. I was an orphan at age 17,
Yes, Your
by
Honor.
the way, and I had no way to survive at all. But I doubled down. I got my GED. I spent more time in jail than you at 17. And then when I came out, I got my GED too. And then I went to college, all on loans and grants. No parents, no one. What do you want to tell me about your money, ma'am? Let's get to that.
In November, my husband went to him and told him we may have a bead on a vehicle. Zach did not have a vehicle at the time. He had obtained a job with a major shipping company, working third shift from like 10 o'clock at night to like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was taking him back and forth Monday through Friday, every night and every morning. Mm-hmm. But we had a bead on a car.
And he was working full time?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And
what about paying something on the household bills? Did you require him to do any of that?
No. When he moved in, the only thing we asked was that
when he got a job. When he started working full time.
When he started working, what we requested was that he saved his money to be able to afford the things that he was going to need, which deposits for a place to live, be able to put the deposits down on your electric, your gas, water, whatever that they need.
And he never did any of that?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Because
did you ever inquire or find out why?
I did go to him and I go, I have no idea what you're doing with your money. Mm-hmm. It's none of my business, but you need money and you need to have some resources to be able to come in and go, I have money to do this. And
okay,
you have
so you
nothing.
let him live free and you never even asked him for anything to help out with the bills. You know he had a sucker. All right, so yeah, you have to get people to take care of themselves. You have to give them an ultimatum or put them out.
And we were getting to that point.
All right, so that's all I'm saying is your first mistake is when he got a full-time job, you give him no accountability for his living. You could have paid the cable bill, paid a light bill, pay something to show that you are a responsible person. If you're not, that'll help teach you responsibility, even if it was little by little. Start with the light bill so I can see you believe in paying. Next, the cable bill. You watching cable all the time. That's yours. Next, okay, we need $350 a month rent. Working full time. By that time, if he hadn't said, okay, we've been as patient as we can with you, you've been working full time for a year and you haven't paid anything, it's time to go. Seems like you want us to take care of you even as you work full time, and we're not gonna do that. Right. But instead, you let him stay free and then you topped it off with a ride. So that's young people, and those who house young people need to look at things, some form of responsibility. Otherwise, hey, if I can live free, I got mad at somebody real bad, a relative of mine who lived with me off and on for years and wouldn't go to work. So I'm venting one time, and then I finally said, hey, what am I talking about? If I had somebody that would let me stay at the house, drink beer, watch reruns all day, and not go to work, and not even go and look for work, I would do that too.
No
so
stress.
What am I mad at him about? No stress? What am I mad at him about? I said, yeah, I can't help it because I'm the sucker. So $1,100 for the car was made in November, you say?
The agreement was made in January.
Okay.
We purchased the car at the end of November. Mm-hmm. And it needed quite a bit of work. It was not a new vehicle. It was a 91 Toyota Camry, and it needed a lot of work. My husband, who happens to be able to work on vehicles, and my sons chipped in and started working on the vehicle.
What do you say to the $1,100 she said you failed to repay?
I paid $200 of what they said I owe, and then the car broke down on me, and I was told by a friend that they have it in their custody, so.
Okay, and didn't you call them and say, hey, I like the car?
I did not, no.
Why not?
Because I was gonna tow it, but I didn't have the money for it.
All right, but when you were told by the friend that they had it, why didn't you call and ask them about it?
Because I couldn't get a hold of them. I did have their number, but I tried texting and nobody replied.
Why did you give them the money before when you were paying?
Because I gave it to their son.
So why couldn't you get back back in touch with this same son. Hey, do you have my car? Instead, you said, I'm gonna act like I don't know where they live. I'm gonna act like I don't know how to get in touch with them. I'm gonna act like. Your counterclaim for $1,000, emotional distress is for what?
Losing hours at work, just trying to pay the bills at my apartment.
Why do you want $1,000 from them from losing hours at work?
It was
You
just
sure it
to
wasn't
pay
because
bills
you
at
couldn't
home.
get up?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
You sure you didn't lose hours because you couldn't get up?
No, Your Honor. I've learned a lot more responsibility since then. So
Why do you think you lost hours? What did they do to you to cause you to lose hours?
the last time I was gonna come here, I got interrupted and I couldn't come. I know that's not anybody's
Oh,
fault.
no, you didn't have to come. You came voluntarily because you knew you owed.
I do owe, and I was still gonna pay
and
them.
that's why you're not getting a dime, because you didn't go to work to come and face a lawsuit that by your own admission you're liable of. All right, your claim is dismissed and yours is granted for the $1,100. His only defense is that he didn't suddenly know how to find anybody. All right, so hope you don't keep going for the game, because he got plenty of it. It's kind of lightweight game, because you see how I cut right through it. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I just want to say thank you for the time I did spend at your house. But other than that, thank you.
I have always wished you the best. I did in the past. I do now. I am sorry that we had to come to this, but you left me no choice.
Plaintiff Sandra Freeman says the defendant is her cousin, and Sandra took her in when she had nowhere else to go. However, Sandra's suing her today because she owes her for rent and phone bills. Defendant Renelle Burton has no idea why she's in court today because she insists Sandra has been repaid in full.
Start with you.
Her and I have a 50-year relationship. I had 3 boys and 1 girl. Her and my daughter became friends. And we found out in elementary that she was a cousin on my father's side. So I've been treating her like a daughter. So when she called me in August of 18, she was supposed to come from Alabama and stay with my daughter. My daughter changed her mind or something, so she called me.
Where? What city she was coming from?
Tuscaloosa to Akron.
Okay.
And so my daughter told her she could stay with her, and then on the way en route, something changed, and she called me while she was in Virginia, Kentucky, or something like that, and told me she didn't have nowhere to go, so I told her to come on. She stayed with me 2 other times before. We've never had any problems. And
was there an agreement?
that she would take, when she get her Social Security, she would pay me back.
They got to be a little more specific than that. Pay you back what?
Because she stayed with me the few months, and then I helped her get an apartment, and she moved in March of 19.
More of Judge Mathis when we return.
Defendant Renelle Burton is being sued by her cousin for unpaid rent and phone bills, but Renelle insists she's repaid the plaintiff in full.
What was the agreement you all made before she owed you the money? You had to agree to what she would have to pay you.
Okay, she paid rent to me for $200 a month.
Okay.
Okay, and then she paid $25 a month at the apartment. And then the phone.
That was the agreement?
Yes.
$200 a month for rent?
For me, for what she owed me.
Uh-huh.
Then $25 a month from March of 19 until December of 20.
And did she ever pay the $25 a month?
I have to tell you more on that one, because while she was staying with me, and while she was in the apartment, she had no income all that time. I even was buying her cigarettes and stuff like that. So what she's been giving me, I took off the cigarettes first. That's
was there
page
an
1 and
agreement
2.
to repay you for cigarettes?
She said she don't think she owes me for them, but we agreed.
Was there an agreement for her to pay you for cigarettes at any point?
Yes, once she moved, it
All
got her
right.
income.
Let me hear from you, young lady.
I have never agreed to pay no cigarettes, because I didn't even know she was going to put that down the agreement was I would pay her for my rent. And my rent, when it came up to it, my rent...
What about the $25?
That's $25 for rent for the two...
What about the $200?
No, she never said I had to pay her no $200. She never told me that I had to pay her $200.
Okay.
She never told me that.
So these are big money differences. Rent, I don't know why somebody would agree to let you stay in their house, a grown person, and not pay rent. So that sounds suspect. Anybody have any evidence of anything that was said and discussed? She says you never told her $200 ever. Ever.
She didn't.
Now, do you have any evidence where you all agreed to $200, where she says, yes, I'll pay you $200, or she says, I know I owe you that $200, or you have a receipt or a check that says $200, and at the bottom it says rent? That's what I need.
Our verbal agreement was, sir.
Read where she said she'd pay it, ma'am.
Well, she didn't. It was a verbal.
All right, so we have nothing saying that she will pay $200 a month?
She's lived with me 3 times, but she's always paid her rent to me, and we had this agreement.
How much were they? How much was it those
She always
times?
paid. She used to pay 3 because when she worked and
How
stuff.
many times did she live with you?
2 other times other than this.
And each time she paid 3.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, sir. When I first moved up here, and she's told the truth about I was supposed to stay with her daughter, but when I got here, I ended up staying with her. But she never told me I had to pay her $200 because when I first got here, I got on my food stamps. She told me I was giving her $196 a month. She told me that was for my rent, and I told her okay. But then when I got on my disability, she said, I said, Sam, when I get on if everything clear, I will pay you back for my rent you paid for 2 years for me staying in my apartment. I did agree to that.
Okay, did you ever tell her she could pay you in food stamps?
No, sir. When I took her down
Here we go again.
Okay,
totally different.
Sir, when I took her down to welfare to get on Medicaid and the food stamps, she got $196 and a medical card. And I took her we didn't have a car then. I didn't get a car till April of 20. But anyway, when I took her down and they offered her $196 in stamps, I took $100 off of the $300 because we agreed to $300. She was supposed to start working, but she wasn't able.
To $200. Now you've changed it to $300.
No, sir. I was going to.
Yes, you
I
did,
told her,
ma'am.
but
Now
that's
you're
when she used.
it
But
was
I'm saying she used to work.
And the dog. You can talk
But she
over me
lived
all
with
you
me
want.
before.
Talk over me all you want.
I'm sorry.
You're not proving your case. Tell me about the phone bills you're suing for.
I paid when she moved with me in August. She had her brother paid it for September, and then her son paid it for
what was
October.
The agreement on the phone bill?
$33 a month, and she was supposed to pay me for rent and phones when she started getting her income. That's all we agreed to.
And how many months did she go without paying?
She paid me. She didn't pay none of the phone until she got her money in December. And so I paid everything, rent and phone and everything till November of 2020.
Okay.
And she got her first check in December.
Okay, I can't do the math for you, ma'am.
I have it on page 1 and 2. When my kids borrow money, Judge Mathis, I'll make them pay me back too. She been with me 50 years and she know my situation and she know that's how I do it.
She's not agreeing to anything that you are saying, and you have no documents, independent documents, that show she agreed to it. So, and why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm just saying, how could she do me like that after 50 years? You know what I'm saying? But I wrote down every time I loaned her.
Hold on, let's ask her. How could you do her like that after 50 years?
Your Honor, I respect her with the utmost. I would never disrespect her. I'm not going to never say nothing that would disrespect her. But the agreement was, and that's God honest truth, she never told me about I had to pay her $200.
She said you have to give her food stamps every month?
She took my food stamps every month.
And the amount was $197?
$197. And I don't.
You never missed giving her the stamps any of the months you were there?
Sir.
Did she give you $197 worth of food stamps every month?
No, I took $96 and she
got it. You said 100.
But
how much did she give you in food stamps? How much did she give you in food stamps?
We shared them because I did the cooking. She never cooked.
How much did she give you? You say share. In order to share, one person pays one part, the other pays the other. How much of her part did she pay you every month?
The 100. I'd say the 100.
100 in food stamps every month.
I took it off the 300 rent. Yes.
You say you gave her $197 a month.
And that's what I gave.
All right, so that so far is the difference that I'm hearing. What do you say to the phone bill? $33.
Honestly, yes, she might be telling the truth, but
I might.
because I paid some of it myself, and she know I did. I would, I do little things, and people would give me money. I would give her the money because she would pay it on her.
You're not
card.
clear, and she is on this. You have your phone bill. What page is that you want to show me? What are you showing me?
Page, I don't have my glasses. Page 3 and 4. Look at page 3 and 4.
All this is a scribble of a bunch of numbers on page 3 and 4. I was looking for the phone bill itself.
Well, it's on my bank statement that I was paying it, but
well, I'm not going to regard that.
I brought it with me. I brought it with me.
Go ahead and talk over me again, ma'am, when I'm trying to get clarity. I'm going to grant you the phone bill because she's unsure. I was trying to get direct evidence from you that makes it clear that that amount is owed. $750 for the phone bill because you weren't sure, or $794, and then $100 a month. How many months, ma'am? I'm going to go with that $197, and I'm going to believe her that you only paid $100.
Sir, I'm sorry, but
yes.
I have a letter that she sent me that I already paid her $12.50. I already paid her $12.50 from what she said I owed her. I paid her $12.50 on that. Then I got a letter and told her I would pay her.
You all for written evidence, and nobody wants to tell me what page.
Okay, on page
your
1, it's the letter that she sent me.
Ma'am, did you send her a letter saying she had already paid you?
Because she was smoking cigarettes, and I took the $12.50 off the cigarette
That's
losses.
what you want. You took $12.50. That's what it is. $1,250 in cigarettes.
2.5 million.
I don't believe she agreed to pay you that. Your claim is dismissed. Have a good day, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh, Neil, you ought to be ashamed doing me like that after 50 years. I can't believe you.